All right. Now what we're going to do is tackle part 3 of the AutoCAD skill assessment, the ASA, which is going to be creating the elevation. This is a very typical document or deliverable that you'll create in landscape architecture or really in anything in site design. And what it's going to do is just do a orthographic projection, a straight-on view of a cut line. We're going to show some entourage pieces in the back to make it more interesting. But generally speaking, you're just showing information that falls along where the cut line is placed. All right. I've also included here a DWG with landscape architecture blocks that will be very useful for this project and in future projects. So you want to go ahead and download that. And then what you want to do is go back to the base map that you created. Okay. First thing I'm going to do is just go ahead and save this as a new file. So save as, and I'll call this elevation. Okay. I'm going to model space now. I'm going to turn off my line weights. If you don't see that subsequently, line weights is right there. Turn it on and off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a cut line, and I'm going to run that cut line. Put my ortho on. Pretty much straight across here and up. Typically on cut lines you'll see an arrow or indicator showing which direction it's actually you're actually looking. So we're looking up this way. So what we want to do is basically project everything up and give an elevation representation of it. So the first thing I'm going to start with is, and what I'm going to do is just offset this line up here. I like doing one a little bit higher. Oops. That's probably good right there. And let me just bring this line out. Okay. So the first things first is going to be this the building wall, and I'm going to make this thing, we'll say it's 36 feet. So 36. How about we just make it 24? 24, and then I'm going to offset, and that was the 0.5. Okay, so that should be giving us our building. Then I'll just close it off. Now right now I'm drafting in hatches. I should be drafting in flat work. So I'm going to do a match properties and just match all that to that. Okay. Now what I want to do is just kind of draw these guidelines straight up. Like I said, I'm going to show some of this entourage pieces as a, it's behind the cut line, but I'm going to show it anyway. So I'm going to bring this straight up, and I'm going to put my ortho back on, because I want these points just to be kind of straight. And let me actually trim that. And keep going. Now I'm going to do my plants first, and then I'll come back and do the other pieces. I'll get that one as well. I'll get that. And these are just guides going straight up where that plant's going to be. Just giving myself guides. Okay. Okay. So the plants. All right. So now let me go to my I'm going to open up that downloads. Okay, so in this landscape architecture block file, you'll see plan, view, and elevation, plant material, some people, some site furniture. So let me grab some of these things over here to use. I think I want to grab that. That. Grab that. Just trying to find some plants to grab for here. I'll grab that. Grab that. Let me grab some trees too. So let me grab that. And let me grab that. Maybe some people. Somebody walking. Maybe some site furniture. So I'm going to copy those things and then bring them over here and just Control V. Drop them in. Let me do a zoom extents. Alright, so we kind of bring these things together a little bit. Some of these will have to be scaled, that's okay. Pretty easy to do. Just trying to get them all kind of in the same area. All right, now the first one's going to be kind of this small tree, so I'm actually going to move this down there for that. Now it's too big, you know, the size of it's kind of to like right there, to like right there, right? So I'll just make those yellow right now just so I can kind of see. So what I'm gonna do is scale this thing down using scale again. I'm gonna take my O snap off and just kind of, you know, get tiny with it. It's probably pretty good. Bam. Get rid of those. Okay. So now I got these three. And not sure what I'm going to use for that. Maybe. Let me go back here and get a shrub too. Let me just scale that bad boy. All right. That's one. Copy these over. Put on my ortho. That's one. I think that is one. All right. That's going to be a different type. Maybe I'll move this down. And I'll let you pick what plants you want to, as long as they look good. You get the idea of how to build an elevation in AutoCAD. If you had specific plants, you would try to find plants that were more specific, and there's probably there's better ways of showing the plant material realistically now with newer technology. I'm just going to copy that over now. 2, 3. I got 2 different plants over here, and I am going to just maybe move that down here. And let me just try to scale this bad boy, scale it a little bit. Okay. And there's that. Pretty much. And then I'm going to copy that over. Okay. And move this one here. That's right there. The size of that should be much smaller. Right, getting there. So now I want to worry about, those are kind of my primary shrubs, and I want to kind of do the ground covers and what I see. And I also have the statue and then the table and chairs that are kind of there too. So let me try to handle that table and chair first. Try to like line it up to where it would be. Kind of do some guidelines straight up. All right. All right. Kind of runs over to right there, so it's taking exaggerating a little bit, and I'm just going to kind of put this central in there just to kind of get the representation of it. Okay, get rid of that. And the table's done. I'm going to get this little guy done too. So I want to bring this up. Okay. And get rid of these two so I don't confuse myself. And let me offset it through here. Okay. And make this little statue piece here. And then trim this thing out. Okay, let me just move this thing up and get the ortho. And I'm going to make it a solid object so that I can render it. So let me go hatch now and make that solid, and I'll make that just white like that, and make that a block. Sculpture 1, let's put that right there. All right. So I'm gonna bring that kind of straight back down, and that way it'll cut over top of that and give us a sense of depth. What else do I have? So now I want to worry about, so I kind of have that done now. What I also want to show is I can show where this paver is kind of hitting right here. Come up here. And let's say that this paver, I don't know, is maybe, I don't know, 3 inches. So let's do 0.3. Let's do a little bit more, maybe not as deep. Just want to show that there's kind of an impression there. So what we're going to do is, this darker line here, this second line is going to represent the earth plane, kind of earth. It's going to drop down, and we're going to do another. Here, and kind of get this thing going like right there. Okay. And what I want to do is, just with these, kind of trim this out. So this will be going kind of something like that. And that way you can kind of show where that paver is. Come up with the same thing and trim these things out. So, don't need that, or that. That'll represent that piece of flagstone in the ground. And what I'll do too is I will edit block in place and do a TR and basically trim all that. And then I'm going to save changes. That way there will be no lines below it and I can clearly see the paver too. Okay. That's looking good. Control save that for now. Also notice that there's a fence back here, so I know that's going to be a fence. So I just want to come up, we'll say 6 feet. Probably a 6-foot fence. And I'll just come over to here. And I'll bring another line up here. And just extend that. There we go. That'll be that fence on that side. All right. Control save. Kind of move this person into the scene. Okay. And now what I can do is begin to put in some of this ground cover stuff. So I have 2 levels that I'm going to show here. So I'm going to show this one being higher and this one being lower. And all that stuff should be in the background. So we'll bring this here like that. And on this, just kind of mark where it's going to be. So kind of right there to kind of like right there. That's going to be another section of it. Maybe 2 pieces. Kind of right there. Right to right there. Just trying to mark where the ground cover pieces are going to be. So this first section is going to be kind of the thicker ground cover in front of that. So let me try to use this one. Take my ortho off. That's a little too big, so let me scale that. Okay, move this up. Alright, just gonna move that. I guess it's good. We can just crop the rest of that. So I'm just gonna show where that goes. Oh, really, that's just kind of going. Oops. Put ortho back on. Alright, so that's that layer there. Really kind of picks up, and then it'll kind of pick up behind here. But we'll do the second type of ground cover there to finish that out. Okay, and this, to make it easier to see, let's just edit block in place, and let's grab it. And so I got green. Also, let's trim below. All right, so let's trim below the line. I think that's good. And then save changes, yes. Okay, now we can kind of see it. Then we'll start this other one. Let's pop this guy up some. There you go. Alright, let's grab a different type of ground cover. I guess I'm going to use that one. And let's go in here and edit this in place. And I'm gonna make that just like a purple, just so we can kind of see. And scale. That's probably pretty good. Okay. There's that, and this is going to kind of start. Maybe it's a little tinier. Okay, and just copy this over. Show layer stuff, and we'll have to tweak it to make sure it looks good, but this will give us a really good start, and this is just going to kind of run the distance beyond that. Behind all that until I get to like right there. That really runs the whole distance. So what I want to do is just do a guideline too. I went too far there. I'll just come straight up. And that's really where things are kind of ending. There we go. Cool. And cool. copy these all the way over. Oops. Kind of being mindful of stuff and just bring that down. That's along that cut line. So really along my cut line, it kind of just ends right there. I'll bring that last one back, that's fine. And just to be sure, I'll just bring it up along my cut line. Okay, maybe. I guess that's good right there. All right, now look, we have that. It's kind of the base for this bad boy. Void. Okay. Now I'm going to kind of make this and just see what it looks like in layout. So let me click here and then display locked. Unlock that, and I'm just gonna kind of just want to like really bring it straight down so that we can see it. Whoops. And I keep on doing that. So then that's going to be a under 2 scale, and that'd be good. Paper space. Okay. Scale is actually the same, so I guess I can leave it like that. Let me just bring this thing over a little bit. Okay. Alright, now let me click on this and actually lock it again. And let me come in here and start adding some hatches and stuff and help this thing out a little bit. So what I'm noticing is here I want to make this this cut line a little bit thicker. So I'm just going to make the offset a little bit thicker. Enter, join, boom, boom. And just offset through. I just want to make that a bit bigger. Kind of delete that one. And just extend the line. And then maybe go back to the multiple space. And extend the line here as well. Okay. And maybe actually this breaks. Okay, save that. Go back here, kind of check on it. I'll turn line weights on. Okay. Now that purple is going to need to be adjusted, blended block in place. And on there, let's save changes. Okay. There we go. Okay, and this is the 0. And wait. 125. This is where I'm going. I'm just beginning to play with the line weights and adjust some of these things. And line weight's going to be a Make it a little thicker there. All right. And then that back piece is really also going to be a fence. And maybe I want to make this instead of 36 inches, just make it 24 because it looks really, really big right now. So I'm just going to snap to this and kind of come up to 24. That is 24. Let's make it 12 then. And let's just come over here. Okay. That's cool. And now what we'll do is, okay, that's nice. Everything was on layer 0, so I turned everything off. And what I want to do is put myself in my hatch layer and then just hatch this out. What I want to do though is make these lines, and maybe the angle is 45, just to get them straight. And maybe I do it like at 3. Okay, and let me make sure that the draw order to this is send to back. And then I put these up. Draw order, bring to front. I just need to edit this guy, so block editor. And what I'm going to do is just make sure that some of his lines are connected, because we're going to drop a solid fill into the character. Okay. You can also find characters that are just automatically filled too, which would probably make this a lot easier. And this is going to come out right there. That looks good. Get his hand filled. And that egg should be like that. And then these hands. Okay, so now what I want to do is just fill this guy with some color. So, make sure I just select everything, and then solid. Of course, it does not what I want it to do. Then I will. I just want one fill, if I can help it. And see if we'll do it now. Okay, so I'm going to take that and then make that the 247. And I want to save the changes. Okay, and I just want to bring to front and REA. There we go. So he's walking through. Okay. And really the same thing could apply to all these things. I'm going to set this, it's already 20% scaled back anyway, so I think it'll read fairly well. And what I want to do last is me drop in a hatch here. And, oops. Let me turn off 0 again. Hatch. Okay, it was weird. There you go. And that shows that kind of paver sitting in the ground as well. Alright, so now once you have that, north arrow is not really required in this, so just paper space. And you can control P this. like we did before, and this will go into my ASA projects, and this is the and this is really the elevation. It'll kick out. There goes your elevation. Boom. Control save it. And you can update your sheet actually before you do that. You should probably call this elevation. And project number will stay the same. Scale is still the same. And maybe this is sheet number 2 though. Okay. And then we can control P. And elevation. Yes. Kick out. And there you have it. If you have any questions, let me know or send me an email.